other aspects that I find that arise is just like the aspect of perfecting death, manifesting opportunity, producing equalization, things of that nature. Today may really be a day to really go into that letting go process. Could be a day simply to let something go. Really check into yourself and be honest about what doesn't serve you. You know? Really allow yourself to say, hey, you know what I mean? This frequency or this person or this something, whatever it is, this pattern, it's just not healthy. It's time to let it go, whether or not it's healthy or not, for you particularly in life. Yeah, so Planetary World Bridger, a very interesting sign. It can bring up a lot of fears for people, very much like death can. People just inherently are very scared of death. And I'm not going to say naturally. I don't think it's natural to be scared of death. I feel that death and life are an identical force. Is that fear of death kind of it kind of to me represents our unconscious indulgence in a paradigm that steals our own power and our eternal nature away from us. That as a total being, we're immortal, we're eternal, so we can never really die. And I believe the the energy of, well, let's say this is the transmission from the Planetary World Bridger, because we could also say that there's a physical death, right? And that maybe some of you may feel that I'm talking about, oh, okay, well, you mean that, okay, you die physically, but you continue living on in, another energy. So sure, let's pretend that that's what I'm talking about, in essence of giving some of the sign meaning around this particular description, and finding that as we let go, as we equalize ourselves, we allow ourselves to create a continuosity with our eternal journey. Right? Now, this kind of, this would be better to speak about on the Lunar World Bridger, which is a Toltec concept called the second death. And there's kind of this energy of like, you're going to die anyway. So you choose how you die as you live. Death doesn't take you, you go to your death. And that way, we're not going to death with fear. We're going to death full, ready, and with light and life, so that our life is an offering. And this is just a bit of the way that I see there's no real need to fear death, because it's like everything is connected, everything is sentient. It's part of the idea that things aren't connected, and like all the universe isn't a hyper intelligent consciousness that brings fear, which in the end is really the fear of the unknown. But even that is kind of like an abstract kind of misnomer. And I think what it really is for people is fear of pain and or fear of the loss of the self. This idea of like, oh no, I know me, right? And I feel in the same way, it's like when people attempt to change patterns, or when people attempt to do different things in life, or even end addictions, it's really the same energy that comes about. It's like, oh, well, but I like doing this, but I enjoy doing this, or I'm comfortable doing this. And I believe one of the World Bridger's messages are, well, don't get comfortable doing that, because everything is eventually going to change. And if you get comfortable doing something, it is eventually going to be taken from you without your consent. And that is going to create a situation for yourself that will reflect in your life as suffering. And so I find death takes on the guise or the visage of suffering when we have modeled our lives in such a way as to indulge in the illusion of permanence. And so I feel there's a beautiful riddle there, as well as a magic, again, in kind of perfecting death or perfecting the energy of equalization. I feel what I just spoke about there really represents and brings light to equalization. We have to continue showing up for ourselves and go, okay, do I have to equalize my field? You know what? Yeah, it's actually time to get rid of this. Stay fresh, stay renewed. Kind of like your web page. Refresh the page. Take out the trash. Don't let things grow on you too much. Don't be so attached to things, because the energies in our lives, the thing that is eternal, will consistently be with us. You're never going to lose it. It's not possible. The idea of fear of loss, that something will actually lose, no. You can never lose the source of that which a thing truly is in your life. Things take on forms or bodies, very much like you can drink water in a million different vessels throughout your life, but each time it is water. And it very rarely changes the quality of the water. In this case, anyone could really say, oh, well, if I drink water in a dirty cup, it's going to change the quality of the water. And I guess if you really want to get down to it, I'd say, well, no, actually it wouldn't. It would just mean that that dirt is now with the very quality of water that you had, but it didn't actually change the inherent quality of that water. It only added something to it. But this is more of a philosophical debate than the kind of spiritual or energetic or illuminating message, which is really to find yourself witnessing that in every situation, the things that are the truest to you are always with you, and that they will represent themselves to you in many different forms. And as we grow, it becomes less and less important to attach ourselves to the different forms that are associated with the energies that are natural to the being that we are. And so from this place, we can create a continuum with our own eternity, that which lasts truly forever. It feels like that's a good place to end the first part of our transmission for the wavespell portion of 1320 time stream. Stay tuned for the affirmation. See you in a moment.